Hello everyone, it is Joe here from Omnipoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. If you're looking for PTCGO codes, including the stuff from Battle Styles, make sure you go ahead and check out the Potown store. You can get a 5% discount on your orders using the code Omnipoke. For today's video, we are going to be looking at a recently successful one prize archetype. It's going to be Spiritomb making a big comeback in this format, taking advantage of the lack of tool removal in the game right now. Obviously, there is Tool Scrapper and Dangerous Drill in the game, but not many people are committing the space for it right now. That could be something that changes going forward. We have seen some Mewtwo's taking advantage of Big Charm recently, and of course this deck trying to lean into that Cape of Toughness. So for now, we're taking advantage of the meta as it stands, but it could be something that changes going forward. And from the new set, Spiritomb actually gains a couple of really nice pieces. Level Ball allows you to search out almost the entire deck outside of your two prizes, and Escape Rope is a huge deal for grinching early game Pokemon in the back, and it actually really improves your ADP matchup because you have extra switch outs in the initial turns to allow you to have additional Spikemuth props. So you have extra damage in play, so sometimes you can be KOing that ADP immediately, but if you can't, you can push it away, and then there's only going to be things like Zacian and Dedenne in the back that then you can take an easy two prize knockout on. So you're not immediately dead on board if you can't do of ADP. That was one of the big bugbears of these one prize archetypes. If you can't gust KO something, or you can't get over, sometimes 310 hit points if ADP has the big charm on itself, you just lose the game mathematically. And now we can chain attackers quite easily. We can ramp up into high damage output. And we have these ropes, so we can just keep pushing that ADP back. Get to the back, get to the back. Let me take other prizes and keep up in that race. So, yeah, really big include from the new set that's allowed this archetype to come back in a big way. Also, we have seen Dragapult doing quite well recently. Obviously, Dragapult can still be sketchy because you do sit around with some 70, 60 hit point Pokemon at times. So keeping out of range of their sprinkles of damage counters, whilst also hitting them for weakness, is a small back and forth that you have going for you. But in general, I believe it should be a pretty reasonable matchup, especially if you just, energy wipe them. You take a big knockout on the VMAX, they can have a turn off where they're just shredding the active, and that's really, really good for you. So you can overwhelm them from that point on. Let's jump into the list then. Spiritomb is the only attacker really in the deck. Anguish Cry for 1 dark does 10 plus 30 more for each damage counter on this Pokemon. You build Spite onto yourself, you have Spikemuth, we have now the 4 Rope, the 4 Switch, the 3 Bird Keeper, and the 4 Hiding Darkness. So plenty of ways we're just going to keep shimmying around our board, making that Spikemuth ramp things up. And yeah, get a ton of damage counters in play for that Anguish Cry. The very low 60 hit points is mitigated by the Toughness Cape, which ramps us up to 110. So our maximum damage output is 310, right? Because we can have now, 10 damage counters on us and the 10 base from Anguish Cry. So yeah, pretty good damage cap, I would say. We've got a couple Jirachi in here for Stellar Wishing. Really, you just want to commit so much space to reusing these sorts of effects. You've got a couple, 4 Scoop Up Net, so even though you're only playing that low count, you get one down, you start switch netting him all the time and get a ton of uses out of that Stellar Wish, which is really cool. You got a Jynx in here for posturing around your Spiritombs, basically, and your other Pokemon that can receive damage. Like I said, you can be moving in and out of Jirachi quite a lot. It receives a couple of damage from Spikemuth. You can Jynx that straight off, which is pretty cool. And of course, again, you can Scoop Up Net the Jynx to reuse that ability, which is great. We've got a Marshadow because we are terrified of Swell. Spikemuth is the integral part of us getting damage into play. We have a Mew because we're terrified of Rapid Strike Urshifu otherwise, which is pretty important to be aware of in the game right now. Oricorio can net us some nice cards, as can Dedenne and Crobat in those opening stages. Do be careful of putting these into play because they are multiple prize Pokemon, of course, and that can be annoying, but at the same time, they're getting you into the game in the first place, so that's kind of why they're here. We are playing double Ordinary Rod. It is obviously important to reload our Spiritombs the entire time. It's also really important to reload Mew against that Rapid Strike archetype. And if ever they are targeting some of your one-offs like Jynx or something like that, and you need it again, typically they just hit the face because they want to start removing your Spiritombs from play because they're going to make you have more switches, more ropes, more Spikemuths, that sort of thing. So rodding in these allows us to have, just the 4 attackers, just the 4 basic energies, and we can cycle them back into the deck, which is nice. We have those 8 Ball Search cards, so plenty of outs to early game Pokemon. You want to get multiple Spiritomb down to start building up that Spite, of course. We have the 12 switch outs with the nets, the switches, and the ropes, which is plenty. Spikemuth obviously maxing it out because that's our main means of ramping up that damage. Bird Keeper is damage a lot of the time, but it's also going to be netting us some additional cards. We've got the boss's orders to pick up things like Dedenne, Crobat for multiple prize knockouts, anything that we've hit earlier on. As well as the 4 rope, it means we have plenty of good bench control. And 4 research for the deep dives into the deck. Cape of Toughness, like I keep saying, really important to increase that damage output. It means we're less vulnerable to things like Psy powers and other annoying plays that your opponent can make to just deal with Spiritombs really easily. As well as, allowing us to reach, into the 200-300 kind of realm, which is excellent. You got those hiding, so you can move in between Spiritombs as well with a natural retreat to help your Spikemuth out. And we're going to have the 4 basic Dark in here as well. A couple of things I have thought about. You can think about having Mimikyu in here to deny healing. Can be annoying against things like Luke Metal. As well as you could think about having another Mimikyu in here to help out against Mewtwo. I've also thought that 1 Hooper could be reasonable in here, just for early game pressure. If you're hitting into 1 prize Pokemon, like opponents' Jirachis, it's really cool to just hit for 90, take that easy 1 prize, and it means that you're building the Spiritombs in the back a lot more safely. But ultimately, I think this is just a cookie cutter, get as much damage into play with Spiritomb.deck. And yeah, it's got that strategy down to the ground, try to simplify it as much as possible. And that's always something that I love to look for in decks. Just give me 1 trick, make me do it as consistently as possible, and hope that that's a strong enough win condition. And it turns out that it's already won 1 pretty large tournament in this format. So it seems to be a strong strategy. So let's jump into the ladder, get some games with this, and prove the power of this 1 prize archetype. I didn't think there was going to be that much space to work in these 4 ropes, so I didn't actually anticipate Spiritomb to be as hyped as it has ended up being. I thought there's going to be things like Whimsicott and Mad Party, which were going to be growing in the ranks. Mad Party has really proven that it can't keep up with the amount of Dragapult in the format. That was something that, you were always going to be concerned about if Dragapult did come back in a big way. Mad Party obviously has a horrible, horrible time against that. The Whimsicott I still think is something that people could be tweaking. I feel like you can already play Big Parasol to protect against Dragapult a little bit better. So maybe I need to do an updated Whimsicott soon as well, because that gains the same benefits of having potential rope around ADP, as well as having the option to level ball to get more things into play. So the 1 prizes are actually coming back a little bit, which is really cool. We have a very nice hand here. We can hiding Spikemuth, Cape, Jynx, Research. That's a really, really good start for us. Looks like we're up against a fellow 1 prizer, the Cat deck, the Cataday deck. We'll be damaging our own things, so they'll be able to Esper hit us the entire time, but we'll probably just initiate the prize race here. And the hand is so solid that we don't need to do much else. We don't need to put down many multiple prizes here, I don't think, in this sort of matchup. So let's go hiding, let's go caping, let's go jinxing, and let's just rip the research here. At any point, they need to have multiple Meowth down as well, because we could try and take some Gust KOs on it. So we can build Spites here. We have a lot of switch outs, as you can see already. We only need 2 damage on either Spiritomb here. So I can just retreat, and I can just play a switch. Pretty chill. Pretty simple turn here, to be honest. The only thing we're lacking is any sort of draw for next turn. So we're hoping that if he launches any attack, it will be Esper on like a bench Pokemon, rather than anything else. Do I want to? So Glameow's not doing anything. They can also play whatchamacallit though. They can play Litten. I guess they can play Perugly as well. If they've gone double Glameow, they can just be Peruglying through things. And I can't play around Perugly damage anyway, so we'll just leave the damage counters where they are. Take the initial prize, make them find multiple stage 1s this turn. Research is going to be a huge draw off those prizes. That is nutty. We really want to not put down Dedenne or Crobat. That's their out into winning this game. Is it a level ball from them? For a second Meowth, makes sense. Gathering of Cats. Yes, so they are playing the big cat. The new Perugly from the latest set allows you to hit a vanilla 120 for free, which is pretty cool. They also have Meowstic, which can do 70 for free. So they have all the stage 1s in their deck. They're going to research here. Let's see a U-turn board onto a Manaphy. They are able to con, so they will have the Gathering of Cats here. So they can respond KO. I'm not sure what else they have available to them. Okay, just the response KO. So I can build Spite, and then we have the guaranteed knockback as long as I find energy cards. I don't need to play much of the switching shenanigans. Mew is not really a card I need to put down here at all. It can protect me from Esper, ear kinesising stuff. Let's put Spiritomb back in the deck. Because I do want to draw into another backup Spiritomb this turn. Let's do this, and I think I'm just going to research this. Looking for energy card, of course. Any backup Spiritombs are important. Whiffing energy card means I have to play this Crobat, which sucks. So we'll fail the level ball, so that I can draw the maximum amount of cards here. Okay, we do find a hiding, which is lovely. So let's build. And let's build. So how many cards do I want to hold here? I can hiding and get a free wish in if I want to. And then I can Jynx off the Jirachi. And put it to the other Spiritomb, so I just have more plays. Putting me to 4 means I'm in range of the Meowstic, but I need 4 just to take the knockback here. So let's do our free wish, I think. More Bird Keeper. Probably take the switch just for additional. No, probably take the Quick Ball. We have every option we want for next turn. So we can switch. Could play Rope here, but I want to deal with this Purugly. It's one of the tankier Pokemon that they play. And let's move one off this over here. And let's just Anguish Boot. It looks like, again, next turn we're going to be hunting down an energy card. Grab another Cape, which is okay. They probably are playing Mew themselves, so it's something that I need to be slightly aware of. We are currently ahead in that race. There's no easy way for them to deal with Crobat in one hit. They typically need to set up some damage and then Esper finish it, so it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world that it's in play. They're going to get their backup Persian, so bossing seems pointless at this point. It's our only boss left, so no reason to want to use that. I'm going to grab a Glameow. So it looks like they're thick Purugly, bro. They are straight in on that Purugly. I'm going to see the Ordinary Rod to grab back some chaps. They have the Perplexing Eyes for next turn, so I just need to be hitting 90. It's really down to them to be able to... Okay, they're going to boss up Mew. Interesting. So they let me keep the Spiritomb. That's surprising. That's perplexing, I guess you could say. Let's go Jirachi, because I have the Bird Keep. What stadium would they be playing, if anything? I don't think they will have space for stadium, so let's Quick Ball first. And let's just grab more. I just want to find some of these energy cards. We only have 4 in the deck, so we've prized a few. So hopefully we take some off prizes as well, if nothing else works out. We'll take this for the draw, because I'm going to be bird keeping this turn. Let's put down some stuff. Let's build. Let's build. I can play around tool removal now if I want to, as well. Which is kind of good. Not sure if they would play tool removal for any reason, though. But I may as well play around it on the turns that I can, right? I don't want to do any of this Scoop Up Net Jynx stuff. Not really. Can save this entire hand. No energy again is the fear factor, right? That's the thing we're still kind of terrified of. We're hoping to take some off prizes, because we have a few prized. Alright, there's our resetting hole Marshadow. No good for us there. So 4 energy in the deck. 4, 5, 6. So yeah, we press 2 energy in our bottom 3. It's a bit yikes. But we have a ton of Stellar Wishes I can do to thin the deck first, pre-research. If I wanted to, I could Oricorio as well for a 10-card dig. I'm going to grab an Esper. Esper can deal with this or this, depending on what he wants to take a KO on. I'm going to see a Capture Energy grabbing Litten. Litten can bite, or what's it called? Big Bite for 60. I'm going to see the Ocean Search. They're probably still looking for Peruglies and Glameows now. Just going to grab a Meowth. Deck thinning is good in general. They're going to get that retreat in. They are just going to Air Kinesis. Probably deal with Jirachi, I guess. Doesn't make sense to deal with much else here, I don't think. You should try and deny me the wish, right? The good news is... oh, okay. We still keep our energy. So that we don't need to find anything this turn. That's the good news. And it means I can Bird Keep this turn if I want to. Let's retreat. Let's wish. Let's grab the quick so I can discard a card that I don't need. While you have the discards, you want to make them not painful for you, right? So, the 3 Spiritomb is all I need to attack my way through the game. We've already free retreated. Let's Bird Keep. Let's thin the deck even more. Don't need this card. Don't need Dedenne. Just thinning towards energy because we're still terrified. Let's build. We can build on this guy as well. I can still stay out of tool removal range. Again, play around it when you can, you know. There are plenty of decks where you won't be able to because you need it for damage, but when you're against other small stuff, definitely try and play around that tool removal. It's one of the only ways I think we're losing here. I am kind of scared of a Mew coming down. If he does play tool removal, he can deal with 2 tombs at the same time, which allows him to jump ahead a little bit in the race. So maybe I could move 1 more over somewhere else. I guess he could do it with tool removal and deal with Jirachi anyway. So yeah, we're terrified of tool removal plus Mew at this point. They certainly will be playing Mew, right? Because they're a 1 prizer and they lose if they don't. But that's one of the only things we're scared of at this point. An energy card, lovely. You love to see that. Now we can attack. So I think if they are Puritan 1 prize, we're just going to take the dub here. I don't see a way for them to deal with Crobat in 1 turn. Unless they bench some snazzy tech Pokemon that I'm not aware of. They drop down a random Rapid Striker. Alright, alright. Marnie is kind of good. We have a really high chance of drawing into energy again, though, which is what we're after. Lovely. We see a Perugly come down. And an Esper. And we're going to see the Big Bite come in. So we can't promote Jirachi, otherwise we knock ourselves out. I'd rather not do that. I do want to get some Bird Keep value. So I guess I'm going Jynx. And we'll just take our 3 cards. These are unusable cards. This is fine to attach. This is fine to build on. I can quick ball out an Oricorio now. I don't think I can lose if I put Oricorio down. You know, any more than a Crobat, you know. It's going to net me the same amount of cards as a Dedenne, just over 2 turns. Alright. So still losing to that tool removal play that he can make, right? If I move 1 off here, over here, he can go 1, 2. Yeah, I guess I can Jynx to play around it. So now I don't lose to tool removal either. Playing around something that I'm almost certain they're not playing, but you may as well, right? When you can, you can. Tool Scrapper really hasn't been played a lot as of late. The Rusted Sword has taken over Tool Scrapper in ADP. Luke Metal has certainly been less popular as of late. And that was often a deck that played Tool Scrapper. I'm not sure what else just naturally wants to run Tool Scrapper. Potentially Eternatus can bring back Dangerous Drill in a small capacity, just because there's a lot of special energy around. But Eternatus is seeing a lot less play than obviously it was pre-Battle Styles. So a lot of the removal people have to put in just to beat Spiritomb. And I don't know if Spiritomb's going to be a popular enough deck to actually do that. So our opponent just has to take their 1 prize here on the Jirachi, and then we just have to announce the KO if ever they want to. Seem to be taking their time with it. Let's say that he's played well, just to let him know. You really gonna take your time like this? Come on, just take the prize. Good lad. We can just boot. Alright. Nice. A nice win there against a fellow 1 prize deck. I think because we're low to the ground, we're just a basic Pokemon that can hit around that sort of like 70 to 100 turn 1. You should be reasonable against a lot of these other 1 prize trading decks like the Mad Parties and stuff. I feel like you do want to go first with this deck because we play so many Ball Search cards, and you want to just build Spite when you can, so fairly happy going first. We have a nice Level Ball, Quick Ball combo. I can rope into Jirachi for some early wishes. Looks like we are against Eterna, so we certainly want to go ahead and grab Tomb. I can Hiding Dark the Tomb as well, so we can get rid of the Dark Energy. So I can rope into Tomb, Hiding Dark into Jirachi, get a free wish in, get some extra damage around the board. The Marshadow and the Tomb both receive a little bit of damage here, which is pretty tasty. So all things considered, it's a nice start. Marshadow's going to be that nice check to Power Plant if we need it. So the thing I'm most afraid of here is just him having Power Accelerator Gust KO. But it's hard to have in the opening, really. They do still have Crobat draws for it, but I still think the upside of just getting more damage into play is reasonable. Maybe I just shouldn't have built Spite. Maybe I just stay at the 2 instead. We see a Dark City come down. They also have Grimer in their deck. There's a Hooper. Hooper can take a KO this turn. It looks like that's what they're looking for. I'm going to see a Tomb of their own go into the deck. Let's see, Crobat. So they could be digging for boss easily here. They already have the free retreat. They have the KO guaranteed on their hoops. It's just where they want to take that KO. Okay, so we do see boss's orders. 130, not the hardest number to try and hit into. So I'm not too concerned about this play. He'd have been taking a prize on whatever we gave him anyways, so... Alright, I want to start with a Wish, because I want to try and get extra Scoop Up Net value. This is good for us. We just want to make a Spiritomb here immediately. Spiritomb has free retreat with Dark City, so I can always just make a tomb and put it active here. And I can always go back into the Jirachi for more wishes. So that works out pretty well. You try and get 4 damage counters onto a Spiritomb, so it's probably something like Spikemuth, Jynx, Retreat. Yeah, that's what it has to be. So we do have Spikemuth. I want to retreat first. I did not want to retreat first because I need the Spikemuth proc. How am I doing this now? Okay, so I need to find Switch card now. Yikes, I yikesed myself. I baited myself. Let's get rid of a boss. 2 boss down. Okay. Let's grab Jynx, I think. Yeah, let's grab Jynx. Let's Wish. Maybe forced to DAA change here because of my ignorance. We can build. We can play Spike. I think I'm gonna have to Scoop Up Net Jynx, you know. So that's this. Go here, go there. Ugh, it's a lot of work. We have to DAA change this. Oh, I'm such a fool. How could I be so foolish? I can buy board space back, so I don't need to necessarily get a tomb here. I might just go maximum draw. Just to reach for this KO, you know? So we're lacking a net, right? That's all we needed to find. So I guess we're roping this turn. Poking a Crobat isn't great. We'll have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. So much damage for him. I don't particularly love using Marshadow either. Yeah, none of this is that good, let's be honest. I made it way hard for myself by just taking the free retreat option just to wish more. That wasn't a good decision. I was like, haha, I can retreat for free, but you don't want to do that. Alright, so now I can free up the board space with this a little bit easier. We don't care too much about Absol, if that's what he's going for. We have a lot of value from Spikemuth if we're able to find one out of the Wish, plus Oricorio playing next turn, so we should be dealing with the Hooper from now on. I am kind of terrified of him bossing up Oricorio at this point though, because of the weakness. Energy onto Eterna. Obviously we can't one-shot on Eternatus. There is a lot of merit to him just smacking the active as well. Just remove our only Spiritomb, you know. They have more tombs in the back. Yeah, Marnius. Okay. It's a lot of our pivots, but we didn't have Spikemuth, so it's not the worst. This is going to take the KO. We do draw into Spikemuth, which is nice. I probably want to open up this board space, so I'll Marshadow first, then Spikemuth. So that can get out of here. This can come down. So we've bought a board space back. Do I want to make a Spiritomb? I should wish before the tomb. But I do want to dance. So it's weird to wish dance. Sorry, wish rod dance. But I think that's the route we're going. Okay. Wish rod dance. Don't want to miss energy, that would be silly. Let's put one back in. I guess I could have Wish Rod researched, then danced afterwards. Not much help here. I guess I can quickly just rope switch to get some more damage on my stuff. Okay, so we find Tomb, we find some energies. We can grab this. We can double Tomb up. We can Jynx off of Jirachi, I guess. We can net Jynx. And we only really need to poke this guy, right? Don't want to waste a hiding, because it's extra damage for us. So let's do our poke. So we're still a lot of attacks away here, right? We're 3 attacks away at best. He can easily be 2 attacks away with boss. He needs to have both boss in hand to be 2 attacks away, though. We've already played 2 boss as well, so I don't think it's easy for us to be 2 attacks away. We're probably still... Sorry, it's not easy for us to be 3 attacks away, unless he actually attacks with this guy next turn. That makes us have a ton of cards. Okay, so he has the boss. So they need to boss us next turn to win. We need to reach a silly amount of damage onto our chaps if we're going to deal with this guy. Hooper comes back in. He's just going to take the prizes with this. In a way, that's better for us. It gives us extra time to reach on this later. In a way, it's better. In a very obscure and not obvious to see way, it's better. Trust me. Alright, let's go into our tune. Let's get our free bit of damage in. Let's do our buildings. Let's do our retreating. Let's wish. Net is decent. So we take care with this tomb. I'll just go back into it. I think I want to start jinxing now because I need to have more damage tomb later. Well, pretty soon actually. And we'll just take our KO. I'm not going to commit the Cape anywhere. It doesn't make sense to. Need to hold it for this guy. We are losing to a boss here. Messed up my Spikemuth play, which is a shame, but we'll see. Zigzagoon. Uh-oh. He's pinging a Dedenne. Okay, he just has boss anyway. Well, that went pretty bad, to be honest. That was a mistake on my part, though. That was early pressure from a Hooper. And then, yeah, just whiffing a Spikemuth gave him an extra turn to attack me. I still think the amount of bosses that we had to discard early would have made it difficult for us. They have a lot of 1 prizes in their deck that can trade on our low hit point stuff. We didn't really see the Toughness Capes come in to like keep us out of range of their Spiritombs, which would have been fun, but regardless. We'll get one more game in. Tomb Rope Level Ball with Spikemuth isn't a bad start. We can level Jirachi, Spikemuth, get our first proc of damage. I have Bird Keeper as well. I'm sure this can come down, why not? Oranguru, huh? What's this Monkey Master going to be doing? Mostly means ADP, right? Or some sort of Zacian. Does he Quick Ball? Get to see a little bit more now. Yeah. ADP, by the looks of things, with E-Switch hitting the bin. Yes, certainly ADP. They have another energy switch in their hand as well, because they attached a water for turn and chose to discard a water. Alright, so let's make our Jirachi. Let's build some Spite while I'm here. Let's spike up. Let's rope up. Let's wish. Do I want to Bird Keep? Bird Keep only gives us 3 outs to actually have an energy here, whereas the research is probably going to serve us better. ADP is typically a swell deck, so we will put down Marshadow here. We do still miss energy. And also, I mean, we kind of would have liked a rope as well if we could have found it. Do I want to find Jynx? Not really. This probably has to be a Pokemon space. They can play Mew in their deck now, thanks to Rapid Strike, so we'll probably proactively play this tool. I don't want him to Mawile a Mew, so I might just Quick Ball it away, but I also don't want him to Mawile anything. So I may just grab a Jynx as like the worst case scenario that he puts into play. Or I can just build Spite one more time. Just get the full army going. I kind of like the idea of Jynx, though. Jynx lets me push on to ADP heavily next turn. So we're just going to commit to one now, actually. And I think we'll just pass here. Alright, they're going to Wisdom. We know they have at least Energy Switch in hand. So they need to find... Okay, they have another Zacian. Just researching it all away. So probably Wisdomed and E-Switch to the top. Has access to Saucer plays now as well. There is ADP, there is Saucer. They do have a rope back into us. Let's go into our least damaged tomb, I guess. Or is this actually the thing we wanted to be able to damage our tomb even more? Ooh, okay. Let's go to most damaged tomb. How you like that? There's energy switch. There's energy. And there's an altered. Okay. So. Let's start building. We need to get to 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 210, 240, 270. We need to get to 9 damage counters, because then we have the 1 from the cry itself. Or from the, yeah. So we will attach, switch into Jynx to get us to 7. Jynx off this. 8. Pick up Jynx. Pop it back down. And we'll just rip the research. Do I want to get rid of any Pokemon in here? Could get rid of a Jirachi. Let's start caping up our dudes. $290. Yeah, we're there. That shows you the burst potential. Now they need to find Saucer Energy just to respond KO. They only have a 2-card hand. It's not the easiest to achieve. We get some great prize cards there. A lot of switch outs, a lot of nets. We need 7 damage on our next Spiritomb, if this one is KO'd, to respond on Ization. But look at the dancing we can do with our nets and our switches. We can get there. Rope, rope, switch, net, net. That's just tomb into tomb into tomb into tomb, you know? And the Bird Keeper. It's again that energy card that we need to find. That's the missing piece of the puzzle right now. They actually go into their 1 energization, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. They want to be sorcering to that guy. Unless they're trying to make a Mawile this turn as their easiest answer to respond. Mawile has lower hit points, though. We'd only need 6 damage counters on tombs in that case. They are going to Cherish Ball, so either Dedenne changing or grabbing Mawile proactively here. Yeah, Dedenne change for the new hand. Getting rid of a sword and an energy. Let's see Quick Ball. Gonna take no target. Gonna Cherish Ball. Mawile is coming down. Makes sense. Only needs 1 source, 1 attachment. They're gonna E-switch over as well, so now they just need switch card. Crobatting for some. Only 1 rope played so far, no switches played. There's an air balloon. There's a saucer. There's another air balloon coming in. There's a wisdom. Still have a supporter that they could play. I'm scared of a Marnie, really. They just have a research. Good news. Kind of still scared of Stamp as well. Sometimes ADP plays 1 Stamp. I'm going to see that retreat now. And then it's going to Wily Bite. Okay. So we're going to be damaging our tombs like no one's business here. We have a lot of draws to find energy, because I can always turn this Quick Ball into Oricorio or into... I can turn it into anything, really. Let's rope. The 1 prize is fine as well to take this turn. But I'm probably going rope, rope, switch. Get a few wishes in there as well. Yeah, deciding this rope target. here. Get free wish. Wish for more wishes. Let's do my building first so I actually know where I'm at. So this gets us to 6. Three, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 to 10. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 is all I need because... Oh no, I do need more. Okay. So Dedenne is the thing we'll just munch here. Pretty content with that. As long as we hit energy, of course. Let's pick this up. Let's load up this Spiritomb now. Hilarious kind of deck, really. We do still have one Spiritomb in the deck, but he has GX attack, so he only needs to take 2 KOs anyway, so a third Spiritomb doesn't make any sense to put into play. We can let this go. I think I just want to grab Dedenne for the biggest dig into the deck for the energy cards at this point. Do one more Scoop Up Net Dance. How many Switch and Nets have I played now? Probably enough for me to not go back into it this turn. Probably just going into this chap. Probably just Dedenne changing. We do hit energy card, which is lovely. We can just attach, probably. I guess I can attach retreat, right? I still have my retreat. Oh, I actually can't retreat, right? Because I don't really want to rope this. So I wasted a hiding, but... We can take the boot. Go down to 1 prize remaining. We're currently holding game in hand. We're not super robust against a stamp here. That's the biggest fear factor. We do have... Okay, so probably it's going to be Marnie instead of Stamp. By the looks of things. They just grabbed an Eldegoss. Energy switch, that's fine. This is the tankiest thing they can use. See a wisdom. And we see the Marnie. We do still have plenty of energy left. Always seems to be the energy that's the hardest thing, because you reload Jirachi so much, you have so many digs for every other card in your deck, it's like only the energy that's hard to find, right? So we are sat here with 6 damage. I need to somehow get an extra damage. Or a boss. 5, 10, oh sorry, 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, we drew a boss. That's fine. Save me the math. Okay, well, a nice bop of an ADP there. It kind of reminds me of ADP Tomb, where like... Well, maybe not. Well, this deck is just... When you have this many ropes and stuff now, you just milk that Spikemuth so insanely, right? We had that one turn where, what do? We rope, switch, netted. So we got 8 damage onto our tombs, split between 2 of them, which just means that you're set for game a lot easier now. So you can see how the additional switch out certainly makes a huge difference. Did kind of flop that Eternatus game. I think I just didn't play it properly. I definitely should have Spikemuth when I just took a free retreat from a Dark City, which was just silly. So yeah, that's on me. I don't think Eternatus is necessarily the easiest matchup because they can be power planting you. They do have 1 prize attackers, and then 340 is like one of the only numbers you can't hit in the deck. So you always have to 2-shot through an Eternatus, and if they save it for the later stages, it's difficult for you. And because we're always digging for another energy card, it's not easy to weave in boss naturally. It's kind of that late game where you have the opportunity to do it. So I can see Eterna being kind of awkward, especially because they can play Zignet. Scoop Up Net might be sneaking back into Eternatus just because of the Victini matchup. So could be something that you need to keep on your radar. Otherwise, very solid deck. Let me know what you guys think about it. Is it going to be a one-hit wonder, or is it going to be showing up in a higher capacity in future? Let me know down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you for another video tomorrow. Cheers.